Hello y'all, this is Make America Again, a mod for Hearts of Iron 4 that is set in a fictional Second American Civil War in 2021. To summarize it, Donald Trump didn't concede and everything went off the rails. The mod hasn't been released to the public yet. This is the alpha, so I give my thanks to the mod developers for giving this to me early, and just want to say what you may see here may change in the released version. The United States has been divided into a lot of different smaller countries, but having to choose one out of the bunch, let's play as Texas. Texas has the starting ruling party ideology of libertarian right, and as for national spirits, we have being vaccinated and the Great Frost. Military-wise, we have 24 divisions in the Army, and as for commanders, there's plenty of generals and a single field marshal, which is fine considering what we begin with. Inspecting the military technology we have, there has been some alterations for the modern age, considering base game Hoi 4 takes place in the 1930s and 1940s. Motorized is a Ford F-150 now, for example, and as for what tech we have overall, we're quite up to date and should be able to handle any situation we run into. In the focus tree, let's begin with the Lone Star, a question of government. Ratify the Texan Constitution. Then we have the focus, after we go through those three, the 2021 elections that actually takes place in 2023. Apparently the focus name is dynamic, so it will change per year instead of always staying 2021. Looking out over the former USA, we have several groups claiming to be the real United States. There is the People's Republic of America, the United States of America, the American Free State. The Confederate States of America has made a return. They're led by Kanye West. And last but not least, the Federal Republic of America. There is also some interesting smaller countries that include Malaysia, which prior to this chaos was just a micronation. It grew a little bit. Next up is the Islamic State of America that is at war with a lot of its neighbors, and going down south we have the chicken farm led by the Mad Colonel. Some of the conflicts going on at the start of the mod are the National Protection Alliance and Mike Pence versus what I'll call Trump's America, and the other one is Cascadia and the Pacific Fleet versus the People's Republic of America. We're trying to trade with Puerto Rico because it has tons and tons of resources. I mean, it got occupied by the UN, so I guess the resources represent the international presence there. It's only been a few days since we started, and we got the first country to be defeated on the map. That honor belongs to the Islamic State. The Fourth Reich has declared war on the Navajo and the Tohono. Oh, and Prince Philip died. Looking at that nearby fight a little closer, I'm not sure if I could have predicted the Atomwaffen getting their own country and fighting Native Americans. Anarcho-primatist in the Rockies. With that event, it seems that the notorious Theodore Kaczynski has become the leader of Primitivia. The National Protection Alliance and what was Utah makes peace. The reason for this is that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or the Mormons, have taken control and as a result have left Trump's faction, and the country name has changed to Deseret. Peace in Deseret is short-lived because they got attacked by Primitivia. The war between the Mormons and the anarcho-primitists has begun. Malaysia gets involved and sides with Primitivia. Together, they form a faction called the Freedom Coalition. The city of Las Vegas breaks away from the People's Republic and starts fighting Deseret. With them joining in, this makes the war 3 versus 1. Montana proclaims independence from the US, and in other news, a lot of combat is going down in Seattle, and the National Protection Alliance is struggling to stay alive. The People's Republic of America and Cascadia make peace, and besides that, it appears that the American Reich may beat the Navajo. The Second Mexican Revolution has happened, and it has become a civil war. You can see all the war declarations coming in. While this is going on, apparently there is a second Battle of Blair Mountain in West Virginia. The Appalachian Revolution. This means trouble for corporationist West Virginia and their board of directors. Their opponent is the Appalachian Popular Front, and it's led by a authoritarian left Juche adhering Tucker Carlson. While choosing a military doctrine, I have found out that this mod has its own versions of the doctrines that are in the base game. These are centralized warfare, decentralized warfare, asymmetric warfare, and annihilation warfare. While we wait for the elections, let's see the focuses: the Texan economy, army and a state, military industrial complex, mechanized ranches, black gold, business is booming, and Better Call My Friends at Halliburton. We only got 8 civilian factories working right now in construction. To fix that, we're going to change the economy law to partial mobilization, and bam, 15 factories that can be used for building other stuff. The Navajo have capitulated. That just leaves the Tohono to fight the America Reich. The Mormon War ends in a Deseret victory. They got Las Vegas, Molossia, and whatever land in the Rockies Primitivia had. The Tohono are defeated, and with that, 2 regional powers in the former western United States have been established. Let's set all of our army to exercise mode so we can build up enough experience to get to a point where we can upgrade our main infantry template to 20 combat with. Is North America cursed? I say that because Canada has its own civil war now. The USA was the first one to have one, then it was Mexico, and now Canada is the 3rd country on the continent to suffer such a fate in such a short time. We're going to go over all the Canadian Civil War participants going from the west to the east. First we have Columbia, then after them going down we have Vancouver. Going east we have the province of Alberta, the Alberta Republican Front, the Monarchist League, the Trudeau government. Once we go down from the Monarchist League, then Quebec up north from Trudeau, the Orange Order when we go down from Quebec, and last but not least, we have the Maritime Federation, who just seems to be doing their own thing. Oh, and we certainly can't forget a country fighting both of the Albertas. It has a name, but I'll just call it Kyle. George W. Bush, former U.S. president, comes to talk to Ted Cruz, the leader of Texas currently, and George asks him to give aid to his brother, Jeb Bush. Cruz declines and insults both of the Bush brothers, and the meeting comes to an end. More Jeb. Basically, Barron Trump controls Florida because his brother got assassinated, but he has some strong opposition, and this is shown by Jeb Bush rising up from Miami and going to war with the Trump-held part of Florida. George Bush founds the Alamo Party, and in a speech shares his opinion on Ted Cruz and says Cruz is trying to establish communism in Texas. He finishes his speech imploring the people of Texas to help him. The Mexican Civil War continues to play out, but it looks like a dominant force is emerging in the form of the Mexican Commune. Miami lost to Florida. This means Jeb Bush lost to Donald Trump's son, like he lost to Donald Trump himself in the 2016 election. He just can't catch a break, can he? The Federal Republic of America and Virginia have gone to war. They are facing the compound led by Tim Pool. Focus tree time. Let's complete a state for Uncle Sam to be proud of. The 2023 elections, the results are in and then out of retirement whenever we can do it. The Mexican Commune has gone massive. The only pieces of former Mexico they don't seem to control is Baja California and the Yucatan Peninsula. Trump's America declares war on the American Free State. This may be it for Vermin Supreme and his country. Daniel Miller and the Free Texan Army. We can either ban them from the election or let them take part. Let's go with the latter option because if he is banned, we may regret it. Biden's America may soon be sharing a border with Trump's America because the Federal Republic of America has declared war on the Appalachian Popular Front. The time for elections have come around and Texas must choose its next president. We got 4 choices to pick, but we will go with the bottom one that says Bush is back. The return of W has started. More chaos in Canada. Resistance Radio goes to war with Trudeau's government, and they're busy fighting Quebec at the moment, so they're going to have to send some people back to fight this new enemy. With the election concluded, George W. Bush has become leader of Texas. He represents the Republican-leaning defense of the Alamo Party. For who George W. Bush is historically, he is the son of former U.S. President George H.W. Bush. He served as the 46th governor of Texas from 1995 to 2000, then was the 43rd U.S. president from 2001 to early 2009, and served 2 terms in that position. We're going to start doing Bush's political focus path, so we'll do the focuses. I do not forget, I will not forgive, and I don't care what it takes. Resistance Radio and Quebec beat Trudeau's Canada, and just above us, Trump's America has started fighting the Holy Republic of Deseret. While they're fighting the Mormons, Trump's America also declares war on Colonel's America, otherwise known as the Chicken Farm. This will be a great struggle for the country with the KFC flag. We finished a focus with the devil horns icon. George W. Bush's portrait has changed, and so has the ruling party. It has become the autocratic government of national salvation, and it is apparently fascist. Doing more focuses will complete the drums of war and squash the insurgency, and when that one is done, we'll automatically be at war with the America Reich. Texas has become the United Republic of America. The flag is still the same though, and for now, it's just America, but in Texas. Our soon-to-be opponent at the highest estimate has 17 divisions. We, on the other hand, have 43. This means we should be able to just storm in and overwhelm their defenses. We go to war with the America Reich, and in the Northwest, Montana, who took over Cascadia, fights the People's Republic. While we have this conflict going on, we'll do the focuses, recovering from the Great Frost, and coal is king. The enemy has their capital in the state of Pueblo, so we'll send some units up that way and try to capture it. Something big is going down in the east. Donald Trump and Joe Biden are going to settle the score. There can only be one. Once we're done handling the Reich, we'll secure the western flank, and that means a war with Bernie Sanders and whatever country he is the leader of. We're setting up to invade the Western Federal Republic of America, formerly known as the People's Republic. We'll have to go through part of Arizona and the Mojave. They are still at war with Montana, and we will take full advantage of that. Montana's situation went from bad to worse. They have somehow got in a fight with Donald Trump and his allies, so they're not fighting just Bernie Sanders. They now have a whole new front to fight on. We're going to advance through central Arizona. There is some resistance, but it seems relatively weak. The Confederacy has exploded. This means part of what was the southern United States is in crisis. With the CSA meeting its end again, new countries have appeared. Listing them off, these are the Republic of Dixie, New Africa, the Third Confederacy, Zion. And after that, we have the Knights of the Klan, and going down south, there is the Fabulous Republic. The Fabulous Republic joined what I think is the Western Legitimist faction, which is the faction of Bernie Sanders and the Western Federal Republic. Hopefully they stay out of the war we have going on. We are making progress. Our current objective is to secure San Diego and Los Angeles, and in the north, Montana fights to stay alive. Their capital is in Browning. That means anyone trying to defeat them at the moment will have to go pretty deep into their country. We have located a gap in the enemy defenses, and we have started a drive along the California coastline. If we're really lucky, we may be able to get to San Francisco. We're still addressing the Great Frost, and we'll finish up the focuses relating to that. We've already done the power of the atom, but we still got to do knock down the wind turbines and recovery in sight. Maybe saying we'd get to San Francisco is a little too hopeful, but at least Bakersfield is almost within our grasp. Another opportunity has come. We'll try again to take the enemy capital, or at least something near it. I'm happy if we just get to San Jose. We have seized a good amount of important cities. Some of the major ones left are Fresno, Oakland, and Sacramento. We did lose some ground, but on the plus side, we have trapped a few enemy troops in the Mojave Desert. We bounced back and took some territory. Oh, and by the way, we have our own faction called the Dallas Pact, but that isn't too important. But anyway, the Western Federal Republic is about to capitulate. Doing more war stuff, let's do the Eastern Blitz and revenge at last when that blitz is over, cause don't you remember Jeb Bush and Miami from earlier. Florida attacks Kemp's America being the Republic of Dixie. Dixie took over part of Louisiana. That makes it the main area we're going to fight in for the time being. More than 20 opposing divisions have been trapped in South Louisiana. One army will be left to deal with them, while the rest of the soldiers will continue the offensive. With the Republic of Dixie on the back foot, let's go ahead and justify a war goal on the Knights of the Klan. We're keeping a close watch on what I assume to be Florida's final form. At best, their armed forces are slightly smaller than our own. As part of our revenge for the Jebusite, we must invade Florida, and we aren't going to half-heartedly do that. In fact, a lot of divisions will be there very soon. Florida is ours, and with that, you can see there's just two big countries remaining that claim to be the USA, or at least something like it. One, of course, being Bush's America, and the second one is Trump's America, who at this time has defeated Biden and his supporters, as well as Montana. When the end of the road focus is complete, we'll get a national spirit and declare war on the United States of America. The final showdown, red versus blue, 43 versus 45, the government of national salvation versus the GOP, the United Republic versus the United States. The so-called Grand Crusade has started. Soldiers of both sides will go onto the breach. There will only be one victor. The main strategy is to strike the Midwest, because that's where the enemy's cored states are, and places like California and Utah will just hold back until we have the chance to move. The Mandate of Maine, led by who I think is Alex Jones, wants to send us volunteers. Sure, we'll take them. We're getting closer to Trump's capital in Denver, and there is also some action in Arizona and the Grand Canyon, where we're trying to advance a little bit. We're going to Iowa and Nebraska next. Overall, the numbers for this war seem somewhat equal, maybe. The reason why we're moving into the Midwest so much is because due to Hoi 4 logic, only victory points in core states will determine if a country will capitulate or not. As the conflict plays out, a lot of encirclements are going on, which is good for us, and we're making a beeline through Illinois, cause where the enemy capital has moved to. In this phase of the war, we're just fanning out all over the countryside with the goal of getting anything that could count as a victory point. Bush's America has triumphed. The United Republic of America has secured itself as the successor of the USA. George W. Bush was once thought done after his presidential terms were up, but in a time of chaos, he came back and proved that the country had not seen the last of 43. The video is going to stop here. If you enjoyed the mod, make sure to join their Discord. The link is in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Have an awesome day. I'll see you later. Bye.